What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. So Moody's strikes the last of the three global credit giants. Moody's strips the US of its AAA gold standard credit rating. What does this mean for the market? Bitcoin, stocks, gold. We're gonna give you a proper update. So smash a like anyway, guys, because you're not gonna get this information from anywhere else, especially from a small YouTuber like myself. So research is done. Get ready, locked in and loaded, guys. So you can see here the market has pulled back quite nicely. How far does this go? How deep? And of course, where do we find ourselves in the grand scheme of things? So, of course, you know, in light of this news, okay, crypto is not in isolation. Okay, so let's take a moment to build a very clear strategy. Now, there are three global credit rating agencies: Fitch, Moody's, and S&P, Standard & Poor's. And of course, we are aware of some of these, and some of these may not be so clear. These are not your experience or Equifax of your personal. These actually are nation credit rating agencies, the credit worthiness of nations, right? And as you can see here in the news, that Moody's obviously came out and said, we're going to downgrade the US. Of course, how long do these events last is what you really want to know, okay? So the last to act, so the other two, Fitch and of course S&P, have already done this previously, notably back in 2011, and previously, I don't know if it was 2017, but one other time as well. So Moody's obviously was the last to act, and of course, stripping the US from that AAA gold standard rating was driven by, according to them, Washington's inability to control their soaring national debt. Now, of course, the markets, of course, reacted swiftly, and as we can see, we care about Bitcoin and crypto, and the stock market and crypto pulled back quite, not aggressively, I would say, because the move was, of course, came over the weekend. And of course, there is exchange manipulations on top of that. Now, historically speaking, these downgrades, have not lasted, a long time. So rest assured that this is not something that's going to have a cascading effect and, of course, last for years. These downgrades are short-term. They have short-term impacts. You'd rather have them now. They rarely change the long-term macro picture. Even Moody's stated that the US remains exceptionally creditworthy nation, right? So the overreaction here, again, in a statement, we expect the federal deficits to widen, reach nearly 9% of the U.S. economy by 2035, up from 6.4% in 2024, driven mainly by the interest payments on debt, rising entitlement spending, and relatively low revenue generation. But I go back to this idea or the impact that this is having, right? So, again, it will be forgotten. And it is, again, like Moody said, the US remains exceptionally creditworthy. And that is all you need to know. Now, Trump, in Trump fashion, came out, of course, and said that this is Biden's credit rating. Everyone is obsessed with Moody's, that Moody's. And you're about to mood these tariffs and let me do my job. So basically what he was just saying is mood these nuts, right? Mood these nuts. But what does it really, in all seriousness, what does this mean for crypto? Now, for Bitcoin, the picture is very, very simple, okay? This is an area where we can expect to get some kind of reaction. This is Monday's low, right? This area right here. You can clearly see that wick. Okay, and that is the 100,000 level. But on a wider level, I would give it a bit more of a room, and I would say anything between Monday's lows, right, at that $100,000 level, and all the way to this support level here at 96. This will allow us to form a higher low and for great continuation, right? So we may just need to, I mean, if we bounce off this, this is one idea that could happen. That could be a possibility. And of course, if we break down further and we come past the Monday low between 96 to that level, we should absolutely set ourselves for a move up to the upside. So it is actually quite a bit of a range from that Monday's low where that arrow is, okay? But that's the expectation, okay? And that would be quite healthy. So do not panic. If you've got some dry powder, spend your dry powder towards these levels, all right? Not financial advice, not asking you to sell anything right now, but that's what I would do. It's the very, very simplest way to look at this, okay? Now, if you look at the stock market, the stock market has been on rampage, right? You know, like Diddy said, you know, the sun don't shine forever, but as long as it's here, we might as well shine together. Diddy is not an example. That court case is absolutely effed up. But 5,700 level is where we want to pull back to in the stock market, okay? 5,700 level is healthy for the stock market, and that's what we need to see. And that's this basically pulling back from this where we are now into this level where this region will be a very good high and low and a continuation for the stock market. Now, let's have a look at gold because we are not in isolation, guys. I know a lot of you are itching for these shit coins, but you need to sometimes, you just need to have a bit of a clear picture. Now, this is quite interesting, right? So if you look at gold had a crazy little, we had something good going for us in gold, okay? And this was it, right? You could see we need gold to come back and retest this because if gold breaks down, risk assets will go to the moon, okay? That you have to understand. We don't want gold to be strong. We want gold to break down and, of course, gold to get weaker. And in addition to that, the bad boy, the main threat of the whole thing, the one guy, the one geezer that can spoil the party for all of us is some geezer called USDT dominance. No one's even looking at this. Everyone's just forgotten about USDT dominance. Of course, it has fallen below quite significantly, but USDT dominance on the daily, I'll just show you on the daily. This is quite concerning, okay? This is very, very concerning because USDT dominance right now looks to be, you know, if you look at the RSI over here, if you look at the MACD, USDT dominance is looking absolutely rampant right now. There's these three candles here. The trend is looking like it wants to go and do some damage over here, claim above this level. Right now, I would say this is the fun that we've had, right? These are our 2 weeks of fun over here, but we don't really want to see USDT dominance going up because if USDT dominance continues to rampage, then we are absolutely screwed. And that would be a shift in market structure for USDT dominance. Okay? Be afraid of USDT dominance. See if we get a rejection. And hopefully BTC dominance, okay, is also one to watch. But I do believe we'll get a rejection of this 200 EMA, this red line here. We would definitely get a rejection, hopefully, fingers crossed, because that, again, going up and claiming the higher levels. And I've always maintained that the danger level is flipping 64%, right? And then tapping the ultimate bad boy over here, right? That is something you don't want to do. You do not want to do that. So that's exactly where we are in terms of the impact of these three. Gold looks to be getting weaker. Great for risk assets. In summary, USDT dominance is on the rise. Not so great. Bitcoin dominance is making an attempt at that 200 EMEA. EMA line. Again, hopefully we'll get a rejection. BTC buying range between 96 to 100,000. Monday's low at 100,000, around 101,000. Okay. So I hope you got a very good update over there in terms of what we're seeing. Now, big update on Cocoro. So Cocoro, on Monday, the official announcement and details on stock twits partnership for Cocoro. All right. I said, this is big. This is really, really big. Okay. We'll give them our absolute best effort. This is again, it's very, very small meme coin. But again, this is the black ship. And that's what Shiba Inu are posting, man. The black ship. Welcome back. Nothing can stop the dark ship at Cocoro black ship. Holy crap. This is insane. I'd DCA some more at these levels. And of course, if you don't know what stock crypto twits are, the world's leading social media platform for traders and investors, of course. And you have the world's largest social media platform for traders and investors, available on Web3 and iOS. So yeah, guys, smash a like anyway. I haven't updated you on the other stuff, but this is a very important video. Take care. God bless.